Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as promised on the previous video, today I'm going to tackle with you some of the challenges I faced while starting up this Airbnb business in Abidjan, and some of the solutions or how I navigated some of these issues, and also probably if it's something that is of interest to you that you might want to get into, I can share with you some of the information that might be helpful along the way. So I'll start off with some of the challenges I faced. First off, there was this issue of all some of the issues, maybe if it's not directly related to me, some of the issues that you might face along the line is probably getting, like, let's say, like a reasonable landlord. Because first off, some people they are not so open to, some of these landlords are not so open to this kind of concept, for example. So for them it's kind of very new, so they don't see the win-win in it already. So it might be a bit challenging when you go to, let's say, landlord and explain probably the concept to the landlord. He might be a bit skeptical and he wouldn't get the full picture about it, and he'll be like, no, sorry. But however, a good way to go about it is probably going to buildings where these buildings are actually managed by some of these rental real estate agents. Because in a nutshell, this real estate agent, at the end of the day, what they want is those apartments to be occupied. Most often they don't really want to know what the apartment will be actually occupied for, because they want that at the end of the day they can be able to make the money and get their salaries and so on and so forth. So what I would recommend is probably looking out for those apartments or buildings that are actually handled by real estate agents. That way is going to be easier. But having to talk directly with the landlord or dealing with a building that's being owned and managed by a landlord is going to be a very difficult process. I mean, in other parts of the world, most people are open to that concept and they see the win-win in it. But I guess in Africa we aren't yet at that stage, so they are a bit very skeptical when you come to them with that kind of proposition. And also, secondly, one of the issues that I kind of faced along the line was getting a trustworthy cleaner, because obviously with Airbnb you need somebody that will be very punctual, that will be readily available, that will be, like, in a nutshell, there when you need them, especially if there's a client coming in and things have to be put in order before the client comes in. So some of these things they instantly book, so you don't even prepare. Let's say, for example, somebody can just sit on Airbnb and instantly book for today. So if that person is not flexible, if your cleaner is not flexible enough, it's going to be very, very difficult. That's if you're not the one that is fully managing it. And if you have it as a side hustle, that you have your main job or your main hustle, you might want to have somebody that's very, very reliable, that is flexible. Yes, so that one was kind of a difficult one, because for some reason the mentality, I would say, the mentality of the workers or the cleaners in Abidjan, I found them to be a bit very sluggish. So it was kind of a hassle for me to actually get someone that I could actually rely on to be able to manage this. But once I actually got that person, everything went good. It was kind of very, very smooth. Until today, I'm still working with that person. So you have to be very, very mindful. You need a very reliable person, reliable cleaner. So if you're not the one going to do the cleaning, you definitely need a reliable cleaner. And to get a reliable person to work in Abidjan is you should be lucky to fall on a good one. So yes, so I would say those were the two major ones. Obviously there is the financial aspect, because you need to have like ready cash flow, or you need to have ready cash, because you need to pay the down payments. In Abidjan, what happens, you need to pay 5 months almost every apartment that you get into. You have to pay 5 months, so that's like 2 months of advance payment, 2 months rent, and 1 month for agency fee. So if you're dealing directly with the landlord, some of them don't require the agency fee, so you end up paying like 4 months. But I think most of the times is 5 months. So you need to be able to get like cash flow for 5 months, and also you need to be able to get some money, obviously, because you're going to furnish the apartments. So that as well can be a challenge. But I would say, if you want to go into this, to be honest, what the strategy I used, I had like a margin, or like the type of apartments I was looking for. First, my first criteria, I was looking for the kind of apartments that I could actually see myself living in. And even the places or the areas where I was getting them were areas where I could see myself living in, or putting myself in the place of the people that I was actually targeting. So if your target is probably young professionals, or maybe working class people, there are just certain areas where obviously you don't want to go and get apartments for, because most of these people already have like kind of a minimum standard. So there are just certain areas where they wouldn't want to go, for example. So location is very, very important. The accessibility where the apartment is also very, very critical. So a lot of the questions, or a lot of the things I realize that people are looking out for first, especially when it comes to young professionals, from my experience, first, I think if they are coming from other countries into a new country, their main concern is about security. So they always ask, is it secure? Do they have security cameras and so on? And also they want accessibility. How close is it from my work site? Because obviously when you get into a new country, you don't know a lot of places. So ideally for you, you want to be as close as possible to your work, or as close as possible to where the business district area is, or the city center, or where business happens. So those are some of the things that you need to take into consideration, and obviously cost as well. And for your most young professionals, when they come, either they are single, or if they are not single, they have their families, but they don't come in with their families most often. So because of that kind of factor, I don't go for maybe 3-bedroom apartments, or at least I can go for 2-bedroom, but most often they are 1-bedroom and studios, because that's basically what my target market, they are out for, because they are young professionals. They are not in need of a place where they can come and live with their family and so on. They just want something for a specific period of time, the time that they are being there to do their job, and then they leave. So those are some of the criteria I use when I'm actually sorting out for a place, because I already have my target market in mind, and I know the kind of habits and what they are actually looking for. So I don't actually go in for maybe 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms. The only 2-bedroom I had was because a client specifically asked for it, and I made it readily available, and we had to sign that the person will be in that apartment for at least a year before I could actually get myself into it. So that is so those are most of the things. And also, if it's something, that is very, very profitable, to be honest, if you have somebody that's very reliable, that can be readily available all the time to go and make sure they do the cleaning and everything, they are there to hand over the key. It's a lot of money, to be honest. You can make quite a lot of decent money out of it. For my time in Abidjan, I can barely count the number of times I actually touched my salary. That's just to tell you how much I was living off my Airbnb business, and I was even able to save as well. So if it's something that you're interested, and then you're not probably in Abidjan and you're wondering how can I go about it, there are so many ways, because this is a business that you can just control from your phone, because the booking is being done online on Airbnb. All you need to do is just, once you receive the booking, no matter where you are in the world, once you receive the booking, as long as you have your cleaner, you just text them and say, hey, so and so person is coming in today. Just ensure that everything is in place. The person is coming at this time, that time. So you facilitate. So everything is being managed without you necessarily being hands-on. So in a nutshell, you just need one person, one or two people. It depends on you. One person on the side that's in Abidjan. You can be anywhere in the world, because the payment is being done directly to your bank account. So there's no transaction being done with the person in Abidjan. And your bookings and everything is being done, so you just have to be spontaneous. Once the booking comes in, you make sure you communicate in a timely manner, and you transmit the information to whoever it is in Abidjan that's going to make sure that everything is ready for your client. So it's very easy. It's pretty easy, and you have a lot of traceability, because you don't have some funny stories of, oh, this person paid, he did not pay. No, you have full control over your business to some extent. And I am open to questions. I am open to if it's something that you would like to look into, because I've already built up like a system in place, and I have a couple of people, a very reliable and trustworthy people that I work with to make sure that everything runs smoothly, even if I'm not in Abidjan. That is a network that I can actually share with you. Or maybe if it's something that you want to be in it, but you don't want all the hassle of it, it's something that I have a team already that we can manage it for you. So all you need to do is just put down your payments, and if you even want us to set up the apartments for you, we can do the setting up of the apartment and everything. And we make sure that we share the bills for every single thing that was paid to actually furnish the apartment, so you actually have an idea of how much it costs and everything. So we can do all the setting up for you and run the business for you. Obviously, when we put the thing on Airbnb, the money will go, it's your bank account that's going to be put on the Airbnb. So all we need to do, if you don't want to manage the bookings, we can have someone manage the bookings for you. So once the person does the booking, it goes straight into your bank account. And obviously that comes with a fee, so you have to, those are some of the things that we can talk about if it's anything of interest to you. So I guess that is it for this. I don't know if I missed out on anything, but if there's any information you want to know about it, please feel free to reach out. I am very, very much open, to sharing, because I am kind of, it's a shame that people don't have information, because this is money you can easily do no matter where you are in the country or in the continent. You don't need to be, with this age of technology, you don't need to be in a particular place to do business. You can be far away, but yet you have your business running even without you being there. So I'm very much willing to share, very much willing to help if there's anything you need. And yes, I'm very much open. So the next episode, I'll be sharing or talking to you about buying of government bonds, especially African government bonds, because for Europe, America, or North America in general, their government bonds, because they are pretty much secured, the return on investment is, the return or the dividend is actually very, very low. But you have a lot of African government bonds who kind of pay very decent. They pay very decent return on your investment. So on my next video, I'll be sharing some information on that, and if it's anything of interest to you, I can actually send some links and so on for some of these African government bonds that you could purchase. And yeah, well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.